Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers report Drew Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, is pushing for a quick wedding to Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, in the weeks ahead, hoping to solidify their bond after her devastating custody loss of Amelia Corinthos Sequoia and Serenity Morkmako, and Wiley Corinthos, Viron Weaver, to Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson. But with Drew's reputation tarnished by his manipulations, support for their impending post-divorce nuptials is scarce. Martin Marty Gray, Michael E. Knight, Drew's attorney, is a vocal backer, but he's on the payroll and looking at this marital contract as a means to Willow getting her kids back. Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, will likely feign enthusiasm to stay close to her daughter, despite her reservations. But who else, if anyone, will stand by Drew and Willow on their wedding day, or is their guest list doomed to be a ghost town? Marty, as Drew's lawyer, is all in, hyping the wedding as a way to bolster Willow's image for future visitation battles, especially after his legal maneuvering in the June 2025 custody hearing. His support is less about love and more about billable hours, raising doubts about his sincerity. Drew leans on Marty to spin the wedding as a fresh start, but with many in Port Chuck worry of Drew's tactics, like his blackmail of Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr. Marty's backing feels hollow. Will his paid enthusiasm be enough to fill the pews, or is he Drew's only true ally? Nina, torn by her secret fling with Drew and maintaining a role in her daughter's life, will likely plaster on a smile for Willow's sake if she can't manage to stop this wedding before it comes to fruition. Her strained bond with Willow might push her to attend, perhaps offering Crimson's resources for a lavish event, but her heart won't be in it, knowing Drew's manipulations. A tense mother-daughter moment, maybe at a dress fitting, could see Nina bite her tongue to avoid revealing her past with Drew. Will Nina's feigned support hold, or will her doubts leak, alienating Willow further? Drew's desperate hunt for allies is bound to come up short. Willow's fractured ties with Michael, Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, and Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, leave few willing to celebrate. Jordan Ashford, Tanisha Harper, distracted by her WSB mission, joins Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, in mutual fury over Drew's blackmail. Thus, they are unlikely guests. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Drew Cain is preparing for one of the most pivotal and emotionally complex moments of his life, his wedding day. But as the big day looms closer, the real question isn't what he'll wear or whether the ceremony will go smoothly. It's who will actually show up to support him. In a town where loyalty is complicated, grudges run deep, and relationships shift faster than the tide, Drew's hunt for genuine support may be harder than he anticipated. What should be a time filled with joy is instead becoming a maze of awkward conversations, unexpected alliances, and heartbreaking snubs. Drew has been many things over the years: Navy SEAL, businessman, brother, father, and a man caught in the middle of more than his fair share of Port Charles chaos. His journey back to stability has been rough, filled with betrayals, trauma, and the lingering ache of everything he lost during the years he was presumed dead. And now, just as he's ready to look forward, set down roots, and say "I do" to someone he genuinely believes in, he's realizing that the people he assumed would be at his side might not be so quick to show up. It begins with an innocent attempt to drum up support. Drew starts reaching out to friends and family, testing the waters, trying to gauge whether people are ready to rally behind him or still holding onto past wounds. One of his first stops is Carly, the woman he once loved and lost, thanks to both circumstance and his own missteps. Their relationship is now strained, complicated by legal battles, shared custody issues, and that ever-present reminder that they once meant something real to each other. Drew asks Carly directly if she'll come to his wedding. She pauses too long before answering. It's not that she wishes him ill, but the idea of watching him marry someone else stirs emotions she thought she had buried. Carly tells him she'll think about it, but it's clear that her presence might be more of a statement than she's ready to make. Then there's Scout, his daughter. Though Drew and Sam share custody peacefully, Drew's connection with Scout is still tender and somewhat distant. He wants her to be there. He wants her to walk down the aisle with him, to see him stepping into this new chapter. But Sam is hesitant. She questions whether the timing is right and whether it's fair to involve Scout in a moment so emotionally charged. Drew promises her it won't be dramatic, that it'll be a peaceful, family-friendly day. But even as he says it, he knows there's no such thing as simple when it comes to Port Charles weddings. Turning to friends, Drew reaches out to Curtis, hoping for some brotherhood support. Curtis, still recovering from his own personal tragedy and grappling with his paralysis and shattered marriage, gives Drew a diplomatic response. He wants to be there for him, but his emotional bandwidth is limited. He's still trying to figure out his own place in the world, and doesn't know if he can show up for someone else's dream day when his own life is so fractured. Drew understands, but is clearly disappointed. Curtis tells him not to take it personally, and Drew says he won't. But privately, it stings. The reality of being someone who has spent most of his life on the outside looking in is hitting harder than ever. Even Michael is uncertain. While they once shared a strong bond through Cardi and ELQ, Michael has been growing increasingly distant. His own personal life has been upended by Willow's medical situation and the ongoing fallout of Mina's involvement in their family drama. When Drew visits him to ask for his support, Michael listens politely but doesn't offer much. He says he'll try to make it, but Drew can tell it's a half-hearted promise. The real kicker comes when he visits the Quatermain mansion and receives a mixed reception. Tracy gives him the cold shoulder, unimpressed by the entire idea of the wedding and less than enthused about who Drew is marrying. Brooke Lynn tries to smooth things over, but even she is distracted, preoccupied with her own drama involving deception and Gio. Monica is still absent, off on medical leave, and Ned, still struggling with his dual personality situation, barely registers the conversation. But then, just as Drew is about to give up on this whole campaign to build support for his wedding, someone surprises him. Sam shows up. They haven't always seen eye to eye, and their co-parenting relationship has had its rough patches. But in a moment of clarity and warmth, Sam tells Drew that she will come to the wedding, not because it's easy, but because she wants Scout to see what commitment and maturity look like. She tells him that while their chapter is closed, she still believes in the version of him that's trying to build something real. Drew is visibly moved. It's not the rousing wave of support he expected, but it's authentic, and right now, that's more than enough. Another surprise comes from Sunny, of all people. After running into Drew at the Metro Court, Sunny takes a moment to acknowledge how far Drew has come. Their history is loaded, complicated by Carly, ELQ, the Aurora mess, and more. But Sunny, in his own gruff way, extends a hand. He won't be at the ceremony, he says, but he respects what Drew's trying to do. It's not a warm endorsement, but it's a truce of sorts, and in Sunny's world, that might as well be a standing ovation. As the wedding day approaches, Drew begins to shift his focus. Instead of trying to fill chairs with people who feel obligated, he starts leaning into the few who are genuinely happy for him. He spends time with Scout, helping her pick out a dress. He meets with Sam to work out the details. He even visits Monica's empty office and leaves a note, telling her that no matter where she is, she'll always be part of his story. On the day of the wedding, there's a quiet air of dignity and grace. The ceremony is small, far smaller than Drew once imagined, but it's filled with people who matter. Sam stands beside Scout. Carly shows up at the very last minute and slips into the back, watching quietly with tears in her eyes. Brooke Lynn sings. Curtis wheels himself in and nods at Drew with respect. Michael doesn't come, but later sends a text. Wishing you happiness. Hope you found peace. It's not ideal, but it's real. And in Port Charles, that's as good as it gets. Drew's wedding may not be the grand, dramatic spectacle some had anticipated, but it's a moment of transformation, of quiet growth. It's about a man who has been lost more times than he can count, finally choosing to stand still, to be seen, and to love openly. It's about letting go of old baggage, even when the people who packed it won't help you unpack. It's about forgiveness, not just from others but from yourself. And above all, it's about hope. That maybe, just maybe, you don't need a crowd to feel like you belong. You just need a few people who look you in the eye and say, "I'm proud of you." The future remains uncertain, as it always is in Port Charles. But for now, Drew gets his moment. Not perfect, not grand, but undeniably his. And that may be more powerful than anything he could have planned. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.